Hi, Wycliffe Barrett here, Xplane dedicated. What a week this is. Lots going on. I'll see you right after the intro.
Zero Bravo, good afternoon to you. Report your altitude. 2,000 feet.
Fantastic week this week in the Xplane world. We've had the announcement that the X737 from EADT will be released on May the 1st. All the beta testers, including myself, we're all working very, very hard to make sure that this is the best it can be when it is released. There are lots of videos out already, pre-release videos, but I've created a special release day video. Benedict and Pierre are really happy with the video and it spurred them on to create some more work. So that's the 737 from EADT. Also in the past week we've had Skymaxx version 3.1 released as a free upgrade to those people who already own Skymaxx version 3. And I have to say that it's absolutely incredible. There's some images here and I will also put some video in, although already there are lots of videos around that have been done on Skymaxx version 3.1. I thought I might do a review of it, a full review, but there are already so many videos around. I'm just going to put some images in here for you to have a look at. There are major enhancements, major cloud enhancements, so there are more textures so the clouds look even more realistic. There are enhancements as to the way that clouds and weather are depicted, not so much weather, the way the clouds are depicted. There are performance enhancements, although a lot of people have been reporting that they're not getting that, and that may well be to do with the graphics cards, how much RAM they've got, VRAM and the CPU. I have to say I've had no problems whatsoever. I do see a performance increase. My machine, if you look at the specifications, I've got an i7 4770 CPU. My graphics card is a NVIDIA GTX 980 with 4GB of VRAM, and I have 32GB of RAM on the Maximus 7 motherboard. So maybe, I don't know, it's the way you put them together, plus its settings. Now Skymaxx version 3 has a huge array of configuration options. They've increased the configuration options. There's something now called soft, sharp and neutral clouds. There's been some discussion about clouds being sharp and being soft. Clouds are always soft in actual fact, but in terms of configuration, I think what Frank Kane and John Span have tried to do is give us a range of different clouds that we can use, which has a different impact on our PC. So you could say something like performance against quality. Okay, so going towards that way, performance, the clouds are drawn differently, and so you get better performance from your machine. Quality, you have greater quality clouds, which might have an impact on the performance of your machine depending on what you've got. So there's that. There are lots of other configuration options, specifically around Cirrus and Stratus as well. And my advice is just have a look. They've also done some work around the solid stratiform and broken stratiform and sparse particles and dense particle settings. Some work has been done around that, and that changes the way that it really appears. And I have to say, for the first time properly this weekend, I've seen God rays as I always wanted to see them when it first came out. I was never able to achieve that God ray look. It might have been something to do with the weather, but I don't think so. I think it was more to do with the clouds, the way the clouds were engineered within Skymaxx Pro originally, that prevented me from seeing God rays as I would like to have seen them. But this weekend I've taken some screenshots and I've done some flying around, and I've been totally blown away. They have been real wow moments, and wow moments are hard to come by in flight simulation, because I think what happens is flight simulation gets to a point and then it stops. And that's not because, and this is true of Xplane, it gets to a point and then it stops. And the reason why it stops is because people are working, trying to figure out how to do certain things. And then when they figure it out, and you get it like we have with version 3.1, it becomes a real wow moment, okay? And I took some screenshots and I'll put those in here as well. So one of the things that I forgot to tell you about is Bristol Airport, and this is by Pilots Plus. They've come up with a fabulous rendition of Bristol Airport. Bristol, of course, is just across the channel, which if I look out of my window is in that kind of direction. And what they've done is they've done a beautiful version of it. Now, I know this has been out for quite some time, and I didn't get it for quite some time because I'd done my own Bristol with the Lego bricks. But last weekend I thought, let me have a look. I had a look on their website and I bought it, and I must admit it is really, really good. I really like it. There's lots of things there that you can see, and we're going to have a quick look at it right now. So one of the things that I particularly like about it is that Pilots Plus have got the ground clutter right. It's really difficult to get ground clutter right. Couldn't get that out. It's really difficult to get ground clutter right, and sometimes people do it and it just doesn't look right. There's not enough, or there's too much. But what these guys have done is they've got it just perfect. It looks really, really good. So what I'm going to do, we've got it up on screen now here, and we'll have a quick look and have a wander around, okay? So here we are, Bristol Airport. So I just need to get us an external view, and I can never, it's not that I can't remember how to do this, of course, it's the fact that I've got X camera on. So we'll disable X camera and get into an external view. Whoops, daisy, here we are, and having a look around. Now, as you can see, it's really well put together. The lighting is good. We'll have a look at the lighting in a short while. But it's things like the ground clutter. Of course, they've got marshallers on the ground there. You can see that he's got the batons up, telling me to stop, which I have done. If I go back inside the aircraft and we put the brakes on, because they weren't on. So the brakes are on, and now if you look at the marshaller outside, you'll see that he's put the batons down because the brakes are on and the aircraft's safe. There he is, you see. So the batons are down. They're animated, of course, and you know, as you come onto the stand, they guide you onto the stand, and if you're left or right, etc., etc. Okay, so let's have a proper look around. Let's try and get away from the airport a little bit. There's 3D grass, although I'm never quite sure about 3D grass and the value of it, and does it actually work. So, you know, if you zoom in like that, you can see 3D grass. I'm never quite sure whether it's worth the effort, and also what does it take away in terms of resources as well. So, you know, I'm never quite sure about that. But I have to say that this is really blended into the countryside well. Don't forget, I'm using VFI UK photo scenery from RC Simulations and Flight 1. So it blends in with my photo scenery really well. There you go, you've got Silverside parking, as they call it, over on the south of the airport, and also we've got GA parking here, the GA facility. This building right over here is where we go when we want to go and have a cup of coffee and a bacon sandwich. Nice little cafe there. There's a hangar here which is, it's misrepresented in actual fact because it hasn't got double doors like that. That is it's a full hangar, and then there's another maintenance hangar there. So what's happened here is there are some custom buildings and there are some default buildings as well. But overall, I think it's really well put together. There's the old West Terminal, the original Bristol West Terminal, and it's just really good. There's the main arrival and departure lounge there, which is really well drawn. That's very, very good. But there are some things missing, and I don't, you know, no wish to be picky, but there are a couple of things missing. And there's one thing that I noticed, and it really bugged me. It got to me, it really bugged me, and I don't know what happened. These people in here, walking through here, they must be giants. They're huge. They're absolutely massive. So they're a little bit out of scale. When you compare them to some of the guys down here, yeah, there, and this guy here with the broom, and this maintenance crew, those two guys must be giants. They're really, really tall people. So that's the only thing. Well, not the only thing, but it's really caught my attention and bugged me a little bit. I'll show you something else that's missing, because this is actually a very, very good rendition. But why miss these certain things? So, for example, you got the fuel tanks here, but they neglected to put fuel trucks in, because those are fuel trucks on the ground there. So why didn't you put some fuel trucks in? So that's one thing. And then there's something over here which I found quite fundamental, and that is this fence. Okay, you haven't got a fence here. There's not a see-through fence. What you've got is a solid fence, and I know because I go to Bristol quite often. Now, unless they've changed it in the last month or two, which I doubt very much, that has always been a solid fence along there, always. And you know, if you're gonna do it, then you know they should have had some security stuff here, because you can't drive in front of the airport there. You can, but you have to go through some security, and you certainly wouldn't have any cars parked there. There are no cars parked there. It's all part of car parking. Everything else along here is great. I love this. You've got all these people. That walkway is there that takes you out to car hire and the car park there. That's great. You know, unfortunately, the terrain modelling, it just doesn't stand up to true scrutiny, because this, I'll show you now, that bit there in front, that kind of X there, that is downhill. That's quite steep, and the car park is below the level of the airport. That is a lot lower, but you know, that's to do with terrain modelling. Even if I put contours on, I haven't got contours on, but even if I put contours on the airport, that would still be up in the, would be the same level. And that's about it, but it looks really nice. And I think maybe what we need to do now is just go to night time and have a look. Now, not forgetting my light settings, I have them slightly different. That might be a little bit brighter. That's too bright, or too much. I don't like my lights. I kind of like them. That's the setting I would have. Anyway, but it looks good. It all looks very, very good there. Let's just get that off screen. It's really, really nice. I think it's well worth buying. I can't remember the exact price. I'll put it in the bottom. I'll put a link in the bottom. I'll actually put the price on the film here. So I'll go and find out how much it costs, and where I've said I don't know how much it costs, you'll see the cost on screen. But it is really good. And having a look over at Silverside Parking there, car parking, and the GA as well. So overall, a really nice airport from Pilots Plus. I recommend it. There are lots of Bristol airports. There's a Lego one which I've done. There's I think there's one on the Gateway now, and there's this Payware one. Oops, that kind of, those lights, they should be in a straight line. But the minor things, and they can be fixed. I could fix those in a moment. Just going into WED. Anyway, that's Bristol Airport. EGGD. It's across the water from me. When I say it's across the water, it's across the Bristol Channel. I'll show you where the Bristol Channel is. There's the Bristol Channel, and Cardiff is just over there on the horizon, right there on the horizon, on that pointed bit. Wait, it's not a point, but it looks like it. That's Cardiff Airport. Okay, there you go, guys. Hope you enjoyed it. We'll see you all soon. Cheerio. Yeah.